Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Let's go over this 2023 Arnold Classic Review. Start with my man Nickwalker. The mutant man is looking like a beast right now. He's coming in already on point as far as shredded, and just training consistency. I don't think he's trying to pack on too much muscle right now. He's just working on getting that grainy, refined look. Definitely lighten up the weight right now, as you can see in this video, and just focusing on bringing in everything that he needs to as far as more details. And he's just focused, man. He's locked in on what he needs to do, and I don't think nobody on this lineup is going to be able to take him out so far, unless one of these guys come in and matches his conditioning plus the size. But next, Sampson. This young star, man, has been in the league quite for some time now, and just focuses on getting back bigger, more details. If he brings a razor sharp conditioning, he can challenge Nickwalker. But has his time come yet? I don't think it's this year, but maybe at the Olympia he can move up a couple places. But give this guy another year or two. If he matches Nick conditioning, I think this guy can be Mr. Olympia at one time. Let's see what the future holds and these next couple of months bring to the Olympia. Big Ramy. Now, Big Ramy, in my personal eyes, came in and his conditioning was a little bit off. Thinks he probably faded, but everybody kind of missed a mark, you know. And they always say the bigger you are, the harder it is to peak. This Olympia was unique as far as competitors and the length of the show. And I think Big Ramy did suffer from that. But if you just look at this guy with this muscle that he has on him, if he comes in razor sharp, not watery, even with the weaknesses that he now has, and I just heard from a source that the stem cells are actually working, who knows what this guy's going to be able to do. He will not be out of that top 3 regardless if he comes in worse than the Olympia. But just look at this guy. This full posing video gives you an idea of what he can do if he's on. The muscle, the shape, the size. Nobody can beat Big Ramy right now if he comes in shredded. That's just a fact. Even though he has flaws, you see the holes in his quads. That doesn't make a difference to the judges, as they said. They just wanted him to come in a little bit sharper, not as big, and not as watery, and he could have took home his 3rd Olympia. So a lot of people giving up on Ramen so far, saying he needs to retire. I don't think so. This guy loves the sport, he loves to train, and he just wants to compete until he decides to retire. And just look at that side leg, biceps, they say was a little bit down, but just like a lot of these experts said, they could have been just nerve injuries. Let's just stop speculating on the injuries that he do have as far as nerve damage or anything else that Big Ramy has going on, and just appreciate these bodybuilders, the things they put their bodies through, the training, the eating, the social media, the media outlets. These guys should be praised just a little bit, you know, instead of us speculating, throwing negative energy in their way. We still taking away from the sport ourselves by doing these things. So of course everybody knows that Big Ramy has some weaknesses, but let's just cherish the moment that we got these guys and just watch it. As a fan of bodybuilding, as a fan of fitness, as a fan of just health in general, these guys are just different specimens. You know, not only are they bodybuilders, but Big Ramy started his own supplement company. The name was criticized a lot, but how many other bodybuilders you know have started a company, you know, have reached out and tried to expand the sport of bodybuilding in Egypt. You know, Egypt, they known for the training as far as getting athletes ready for competition, but no one has started their own label like Big Ramy has over there. Maybe I'm wrong, but with his popularity, he can actually grow the sport. So let's just cherish the Big Ramy while we got him a chance and watch what he shows up and show out. Let's go. Andrewjacked. Now, this phenomenal athlete is just one of a kind. Even though he's a little bit older in age, he's still a rookie when it comes to bodybuilding. not really fully his second year, if you want to go as far as dates. This guy was just a rookie last year in 2022, and we're just at the beginning of 23, and he's heading into his second Arnold Classic, and let's see what happens. Just imagine with a year or two of training under his belt, and possibly the rest of this year, if he's able to train like he needs to, focus in. He already switched trainers, he switched coaches, so we know he's a little bit easier on the supplements, and maybe that's a good thing. So I'm pretty sure this guy knows what he's doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing him compete. The Mona Lisa of bodybuilding, William Bonac. William faced a lot of backlash just for competing in his show, the Arnold Classics, which he generally shows up at his best. Let's respect these veterans, let them do what they need to do. I'm pretty sure William is not going to sacrifice his health. If you know anything about him, he is a family man. So if he says he's good to go, I believe him, and I want to see him work. Let's go. Kamal Gardner. Kamal is a veteran of the sport, coming from the 212, and this is possibly his last year in 212, this last Olympia. He's still in that top 4 in the world at being one of the oldest 212 competitors, and probably the oldest one in this league competing today. But with his physique, he's ready to shock the world. Will he look better, bigger? Who knows? But he's known for that trademark conditioner and the graininess. But I just appreciate him because he keeps me motivated for all the older guys. Clarita, pound for pound, one of the most muscular bodybuilders in the current ifbb. Yes, he's the shortest in stature, but that doesn't mean anything about his determination, his motivation to be one of the best in the world. And even though I don't agree with the ifbb or the Olympia denying him his chance to compete at this last year Open Olympia and doing both, even though he earned his right to do it, that's a different matter. So I don't know if he wanted to start up anything. I myself personally would have seek attention of a lawyer to look into it, because that was a lot of time and effort that he put forth into winning this show. He followed through with everything he said he was going to do. He reclaimed his title. He came in bigger and better. He came in conditioned, and they denied him the chance to compete in the Open Olympia just because it was going to make the Olympia a little more interesting and a little harder to judge. This guy is a specimen, so throwing him in the Open Olympia, I know it would be definitely hard for the judges to not place him where he deserves because of just height. But you can't deny, if you're going by bodybuilding standards, which the 212 is, he is still one of the best in the world. So let's see what happens at this Arnold Classic. Look at this guy. Side pose, back pose, most muscular. He has it all. Just like a King, the Beast Williams. If this guy shows up shredded, he can win any show. He has the muscle. We know he has the strength, one of the strongest ifbb pros. But just lately he suffered from the conditioning aspect, which made his places continually drop. I'm still hopeful that William can get it together in the next year or a couple months. Hopefully he keeps competing, finds out the best solution for his body, and brings his best physique, because his potential is just endless. We thought the last year was going to be a breakout year, but a car accident, so he's facing a lot of adversity. So that's just hope for the best and watch Akeem work. So far he's looking like his best. Justin Rodriguez, pretty much one of the most criticized athletes in the ifbb, just because he loves to compete, and even though his body is not responding as well as we know it could be, we assume that he's tired, we assume that he's abusing the drugs, but maybe this guy just loves to compete and he's going off of everything just to stay healthy to be on that stage. So I commend Justin for his motivation and his willingness to compete. This Arnold Classic will be one of the best, and I like to commend the Arnold Classic, their sponsors, everyone else who's organized this event especially Arnold, to up the standard of bodybuilding by raising the prize money, becoming almost the #1 show in the land, especially for athletes in other divisions as far as classic, 212 bikini, you name it. The Arnold Classic is one show I love to watch. Let's go.